Shalom to elect, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, by Hashem Chakodash, and giving double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutation to the elect. Shem Mappa is a Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm Lamadi Ma'ai, come a lesson, little are we lesson. Just going into current events. And fair use warning, this is for educational purposes only, and is no for any monetary gain, for journalism purposes as well. You have it here, situation in Europe, April 2025, off of Survivor Lily YouTube page. We'll play what the situation in Europe is.
To do another news video on the news here and the situation here in Europe. But first of all, before I read you the news, I want to show you the meat prices right now. So I went shopping for you guys, and I want to show you a couple of food packages that I have here. So this is a pack of chicken legs. It's the lower part of the chicken leg, okay? 484 grams. So it's not quite half a kilogram. And this package here costs 8.71 euros. So that's a kilogram price of almost 18 euros per kilogram. So that's for lower chicken legs. That's for
And we would have to see the price of that converted
8
in US dollars to where we're at.
0.71 euros. So
8.70 euros. Okay, what you're gonna do that right now. 8.70 euros. Euros and dollars. Basically about $9. About $10 just for that wheat package. Okay. And it is frozen. Okay.
So that's a kilogram price of almost 18 euros per kilogram. So that's for lower chicken legs.
Just for bits. Alright, drumsticks. Okay, you like over here in America, you get some drumstick, a pack of drumsticks for like $3 or something, $4. You know, they paying all that over there. Okay, so you know, this is the price is increasing, and a lot of people, they're not gonna be able to sustain with these price increases. The price increase, hey, at the end of the day, most people that are laboring, they labor for their mouth pretty much. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and 7. All labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. Why is the appetite not filled? Hey, a lot, because he can't afford much. Okay? And really, a lot of the things that we're getting, too, we're being cheated and undercut from it. Okay? You know, they have it a little bit better with some of the different regulation on the various meats out there, but you know, things are gonna get tighter, and where individuals might just end up cut out eating meat altogether, or just from the cost of it being unsustainable. And we have it here in Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, which it talks about the foul bread, but with time as well, you know, there's gonna be rationing as well. Okay, of a lot of different things because of the famine, the food scarcity, and such. Okay. Now this is Ezekiel chapter 4 and 10. It says, "And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Okay, and this has happened before and will reoccur. Okay. It says, thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin. From time to time thou shalt drink it. Okay, and if you're eating this by weight, and you drinking things by measure, you have a particular counting. Okay, and you have limits, placed on, because you wouldn't be able to do what you normally do. Okay, you have it where people just buy big packs of chicken and eat them. Now you're questioning if you should put that piece of chicken in the cart. Okay, let's go on.
Then we got the upper chicken legs here, and the upper chicken legs cost €10.90. So this is the pack for 4.
Are you getting other different parts? Look like some thighs and stuff, but let me see.
Upper legs, you will pay €10.90. Then we got goulash. So this is
Goulash
from the cow, and this also weighs 448 grams. And
you see that thing frozen.
the kilogram price is €17. So it's about the same as the other chicken legs that I showed you before. So this small package here costs €7.61. And last but not least, I would like to show you this here. This is pork, and it has this marinade for barbecue on it. These two small steaks here, they only weigh 336 grams, and they cost €7.39. So that's a kilogram price of €22. Crazy, right?
Yeah, you thinking that you're gonna feed an entire family, with sizes of that sort. Okay. And so, hey, the prophecies are totally kicking off in full fledged, ahead to the complete famine. Okay. And in time of famine, a lot of people do some very, very harsh things, because they have to make some serious decisions whether or not to be able to provide, for themselves or for their families and such, to survive. Okay. Now this is gonna be, you have it in the Gospels. Yahweh Shai, he prophesied about famine, in the last days. In Matthew the 24th chapter, and he talked and spoke about the famine. This is Matthew chapter 24. These are last days prophecies. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, so you will have scarcities of food. But remember, as it says in the 8th verse, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Sorrows. Back to Odin, which means, of course, intolerable anguish. You have some people, they can't go a day without eating chicken. Okay, they wake up, they eat the French fries or the chips with the chicken. All right, they got the ketchup. All right, they gotta have it battered. They gotta have their pork chops and things of that sort. Well, a lot of people, as you see with a lot of the different bag and restrictions with the different plastic bags and such, I feel like that was a psychological and plot to our scheme to reduce the amount of food people tend to buy out of a grocery store. Okay, 'cause a lot of times you sit there and think about, oh well, I'm gonna have to pay for bags, so let me just make sure I just get what I need, just like for that time. I'm not gonna get all of that. I can't fit that in this bag. Or you bring your bags and you're still limiting yourself. Let's continue forth.
Right? So that's really expensive. And all of the meat packages that I've shown you today, they're actually organic. So that's the price of organic meat right now in Austria. A new list is existing. The prices of food in the supermarket is exploding. It doesn't matter if it's coffee, chocolate, tea, butter or orange juice. Sometimes the prices of products is rising up to 72% this year. So that's really high.
72% on top of whatever, you've been eating. So, say for example, you have it, something is 870 euros. All right. And then you add a 72% increase. I ain't want that. I wanted to put a plus. Give me one moment. This is not financial advice, but you have it. That'll be 14, basically about 15 euros. Okay. So, they showed how to do the math right there. The one with the 0.72. You just add that together, and then you got it. Okay. So, are people gonna be able to sustain paying these prices? It's projected to go up. Okay.
So here they give you a detail of how much food costs. Coffee beans plus 72%, orange juice plus 45%, chocolate 35% plus, tea butter plus 36%, apples plus 19%, and so on and so forth. So the prices of food in Europe, they are skyrocketing, and it's almost impossible for a normal income household to purchase organic anymore. So even purchasing meat anyway has become very expensive. Even the conventional meat has become really expensive. Then next, we have new taxes on electric vehicles. So if you are owning an electric vehicle, you will pay about 400 euros a year for an insurance, which is based on how strong the motor is. And also in future, they want to tax and insure e-mopeds. So if you have an electric moped, then you will also have to pay insurance.
And that's all what this was all about, to tax. Okay, to give you, of course, more and more fees, and duties, and also to bring it as a way of control, because with all of these things being connected to the grid, when they shut off the grid, that also makes it where you can't use these items. Okay, if you can't pay, you can't play. All right, and that's that's a fact. All right, Jack, and that's Esau. Esau is very, very, very cruel. Okay. So I'm going to get another scripture real quick. This is, of course, I believe the words of Job. All right. This is Job chapter 10 and 14. It says, if I sin, then thou markest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from my iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me, and if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. I am full of confusion, therefore see thou mine affliction, for it increases. Thou huntest me as a fierce lion, and again thou showest thyself marvelous upon me. Okay, and we understand that we, of course, are going to do captivity, and we have to face these different things. All right, but Job, he had integrity and he was honest with himself, because a lot of things that you're gonna see be taken away, you can't just in these times be on in that woe is me spirit. Okay, because Job, the first chapter, or is it the second chapter? It tells you in, I think, the 7th verse. No, it's not the 7th verse. It tells you, Job chapter 2 and 10, which he was a servant of Yahweh by Shemel Shai. Okay. Job. Okay, and he was found integral. Okay, with Yahweh by Shemel Shai. It says, but he said unto her, which he was speaking to his wife, because Job, pretty much lost, various substance and even of his health, and he still maintained his integrity with Yahweh Shemel Shai, faith in the Lord. Okay, despite the fact even losing family members, etc. All right, it says here, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. And I'm just putting that out there because Jake, sometimes like when you be going through this, you be like questioning, like, damn, Lord, just like you think everything is supposed to be good, but the Lord does test and try his servants, okay, and prove them and such. Okay, that's a part of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's and straight gate. Okay, it tells you here. This is Hebrews chapter 3 and 14. It says, for we are made partakers of Hamashiach if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. Okay, so we got to hold the beginning of our faith, our confidence, all right, with fidelity, all right, that assuredness, okay, that trust, because we are dependent on Yahweh Shem Shai throughout this whole situation, whether you be in Europe, whether you be in Babylon, whether you be in an island somewhere, whether you be scattered in one of them Arabian countries, or the South Americas, Central Americas, in North America's Canada, wherever you actually are, and you have to maintain, you have to hold, okay, cacho, which is to retain, okay, basically restrain, to hinder, take possession. You got to hold that, all right, to yourself, okay, because the Lord is a rewarder on them that diligently seek him, all right. So again, for we are all made partakers of Hamashiach if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. All right. So, yeah, And like I said, as for these were just schemes and plots. All right, where you have it with Esau, Edom, with these these different these taxes. All right. This is real quick. This is Mark Slakia, chapter 12 and 17. And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to the power the things that are the powers, and they marvel at him. Okay, and we know, the Romans, okay, which are the Edomites, all right, which today this is the new Roman Empire, okay, with you have it just the rebirth, the 10 horns, the ancient vassal states coming back, the common markets, 10 common markets coming back, as the EU. Okay, you got to give onto the Caesar. Okay, these Romans, of course, the system, okay, the rulership, okay, of Esau, because if you don't, hey, they will pursue you and they will take you by force, okay, if they have to. You can look at different various people that try to do tax invasion, all right. What happened to Wesley Snipes when he tried to not pay taxes? Wesley Snipes says he came out a clearer person after serving prison time for tax evasion. The biggest thing I got from it, I was learning the value of time and how we often squander it, the actor said. All right, the 58-year-old actor was sentenced to 3 years in prison back in 2008 and fined $5 million for willfully failing to file $1 million worth of past tax returns. Okay, so you have to pay your taxes. All right. So he learned something from that. A lot of times you learn from catching hell. All right, and different punishments. All right. So that's the situation that's in Europe. Okay, the scriptures talk about how the technology would increase, knowledge shall increase. Things will get smaller and smaller, and more efficient and faster. But also with that, here comes a double-edged sword with Esau, Edom. Okay, and we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So I'm gonna leave that at there. Maybe Lord will I revisit that, and hopefully you're edified. Shalom to the elect.